Welcome back. We are meal prepping for the week today because I am basically out of food. It's kind of at the point where, well, not out of food, but out of prepped food. At the point where I need to cook every night if I want to eat. Oh, hi Milo. Or I need to be meal prepping. So we're gonna meal prep. We're doing 4 different slow cooker meals and I'm excited to get all of these into my fridge and freezer. I did take out my meat and it's still a little frozen, but that is okay. I'm just going to stick it in here frozen because it'll thaw as it cooks. So this is just some sliced up, oh gosh. So this is just some sliced up chicken breast. And this recipe is going to be a Fiesta Chicken. So we're jumping right in. I'm going to get some spices added. I'm going to add some salt and pepper and then onion powder. And this recipe calls for half of a cup of chicken broth. And if you know crock-pot recipes, they usually get a lot liquidy after they've been cooking, especially if you start with chicken that's frozen. So instead of using half a cup of chicken broth, I'm just going to add some bouillon powder into here, and I think that'll work out well. This recipe calls for a whole packet of ranch powder, so I'm going to do that. And then it also calls for Rotel, and I don't have any more Rotel, but I do have a frozen block of tomatoes from the garden, and I have these chipotles in adobo that I ground up. So I'm just gonna throw some of these in here. I think that flavor will work really well because it's like southwestern flavors. And then it just needs some corn and some Great Northern beans. Now I'm debating which corn do I use. I think I'm gonna actually use our garden corn since it's gonna be in here for a few hours. Well, I have another recipe that calls for corn. We'll do that in there. We're gonna add the canned corn in here. This is from 2022, so we are using it up. I guess both are good to use up. Okay, canned corn going in. And then it calls for black beans, and my black beans are from 2024, but my Great Northern beans, this is the last jar we're using this up to. We're still in Pantry Challenge. This is from 2022, and so we're going to get this used up. And then the only other ingredients are a little bit of lime juice and some cream cheese. I'm just gonna leave the cream cheese out though and let it soften, because I know if I put the cream cheese in now, it'll get like clumpy, I don't know, what's the word, like separated. So I will put this in a little bit later once it's come to room temperature and this has had time to heat up. All right, I rinsed them, kind of. Get all of these in there and we are basically done with the first recipe. I'm planning on making 4 recipes, but I'm debating on if I want to do a 5th because we are just out of prepped food. And I'm gonna have an extra spot in my little crock pot once I get it out. So let's add the few splashes of lemon or lime juice. And this one is ready to go. So the other recipes that I'm going to make are creamy chicken stew, also a Mongolian beef. Get that on low. And then I'm going to make some hot honey chicken that we've made before and we loved it. So that'll work out well. So let me get everything out for the next recipe. Okay, this recipe calls for a few things that I don't have already made. And this is going to be some onions, there we go, that are sauteed. So we're gonna saute some onions. Then it also calls for cream of chicken soup, but that's a lot of olive oil, or avocado oil. I don't have cream of anything soup, so we're going to make our own. And then we will pour all of this into the crock pot. I figured probably just best to do everything over here for this one, since I'm gonna need to be here for the stove. So there's some onions. I think that's probably a good amount. I have more frozen chicken that I'm going to be putting right in here. And this one is diced chicken. The other was sliced. It doesn't really matter, but just have preferences today. And then I'm going to get this seasoned up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then onion powder, garlic powder, and Italian seasonings. This is the chicken stew. Okay. So now I'm going to make up some milk. I think I'm gonna do milk and chicken seasoning, like bouillon, because the cream of chicken soup needs both, and I'm not gonna grab out any other liquid since I only am going to need this much. Let's get that in, get some bouillon in here as well. And you know, I'm gonna need some butter. Okay, I'm going to mix this up. I find that when I'm cooking with milk powder, it's best to mix it up and let it sit for a little while, and then it's normal. If you mix it and use it right away, it gets really powdery, like it's not great. So I'm gonna let this sit for a little while. And in the meantime, we can add some other ingredients into here. I've got some canned potatoes from 2023 and canned carrots from 2023. I'm going to use this corn, and I think I'm gonna stick it under here because there's not a whole lot of room anywhere else. So that's the corn from the garden that I wanted to use up. I should have put this in the bigger one. And turn that heat down a little bit on these onions. We still need celery, and I have dehydrated celery that'll hydrate as it cooks. Where'd it go? Here it is. I'm just going to dump a little bit in and hope that one of those little packets of these doesn't go in as well. Okay, this needs ranch seasoning as well. I'm going to turn this on. It's also calling for green beans. I think I'm going to leave them out. I think that's probably going to be enough because I have a ton of other veggies in there. We're going to get some butter in with these onions. Let that melt while we mix up our milk mixture. And then I'm going to also add in some flour. And we're going to cook it till that raw flavor is out. We're making our cream of soup. Probably use another little bit of flour in there. Okay, so now we need to gradually add our liquid, and this is liquid for the cream of soup and liquid for, oh man, for what just needs to be in there. So I'll probably just add all of it in here instead of having to pour 2 different times. Knock on wood, I haven't spilled yet because it kind of is coming out funny. And we'll also have liquid, oops, yep, there it is, there's the spill. Come out of that chicken as well because it's frozen. Huge mess. Oh well. This recipe only has one more ingredient after we put this in, and that'll be some sour cream, which I have Greek yogurt, and we will do that later. Hopefully I remember that step. I'm gonna add the rest of this. I'm expecting this to be a little bit thinner because it has about a cup extra of liquid because that's the milk portion of this recipe. We're just going with the flow over here. Okay, this is beautiful. Look at that. That has come together so nicely. It's kind of like a cream of onion soup because I happened to put the onions in here first. Okay, we need to get this poured onto, ooh, I wonder if it'll fit. Okay, we're gonna make it work. This definitely should have gone in the bigger slow cooker. Okay. Well, there we go. Gonna put the lid on. There we go. Oh, that was hot. Okay, let me get everything out for the next one, which these are just gonna be more of like a marinated meat style. Okay, let's make some hot honey chicken. More. Oh my, is this gonna fit in there? I might need to thaw this out a little bit first. Let's see. No, I can break it. Okay, this is more sliced chicken going in. This was so good. We've actually used this recipe before and we loved it. It didn't have that like super like bitter taste that some spicy things can have. It was like a sweet, but still had a little bit of a tang to it. I'm going to add about a tablespoon of vinegar. This is the little bit of a tang. Okay, we need a tablespoon of cayenne, and I think I did less than that because that's a lot of spice. So, well, maybe we didn't do less than that this time. A little bit of, did I do that backwards? No, that's right. Smoked paprika, just a teaspoon. And then we need some garlic salt. Oh, it smells good. Need about 1/4 cup of butter, which is most of this. Actually, do I even have the right amount of, yeah, I think it is. Okay, butter. More butter. More butter. And then, whoa, 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 we're running away. More butter. We won't use that. I need a cup of honey, and I think, if I remember correctly, I think I went a little bit light on the honey last time. So, honey going in. Alright, I'm gonna call that good. We do need a few tablespoons of brown sugar, and that is it for this recipe. Okay, let me get this one on. Okay, I switched them all to high because then maybe they'll be done by lunch because then I can eat lunch. I'm getting hungry, but I haven't eaten breakfast yet and it's only 9:45. Okay, last up was going to be Mongolian beef, and I've kind of decided to change my mind with what I'm doing with the marinade. I need to get this beef sliced though. So this marinade was going to be basically almost a teriyaki sauce that you make, but I realized I have Japanese barbecue sauce, which is basically all of the ingredients that it called for, so I'm going to use those instead. So this has thawed out a little bit. I'm going to remove some of just the big fat because we don't need all the huge amounts of fat. And then I'm just going to slice this up thinly, thinly-ish. It's nothing that I want to get that slicer thing out for. This is coming off of the edge, gross. But if you'll notice, the way that I prep my meat is I try, for the most part, these are steaks, which is why they're still in steak form, but with the chicken, I have some that's ground. I like to keep some that's diced, some that's butterflied, and some that's sliced. Because then when I'm cooking, I don't have to cut the meat every time. It's a lot of work on the day that I do it, but it's very convenient when I'm cooking to not have to cut up all that meat. Because we've had to cut a lot of meat today. Okay, I am going to add a garlic thing to it, and I have 2 of those left, so I'll save those for another recipe. Also going to add some sesame oil. And then let's add a little bit of salt. The recipe didn't call for any spices. It's kind of interesting. Just like minced garlic and minced ginger. Get some garlic in there. I'm gonna put a hefty amount. I feel like that'll be delicious. And then last but not least, we're going to add this Japanese barbecue sauce. And last time I did that, it all came out of the lid. Okay, I think that's good. Get this one back and turn it on. Okay, I think we are fully good to go here. I'm not gonna do another one. So we have our chicken stew that is starting to cook. We have our hot honey chicken, our Mongolian or Japanese barbecued beef, and our Fiesta chicken. So I'm so excited for these, but let me show you what our freezer's looking like, because this looks like a ton of food, but for how much I usually have in my freezer, this is nothing. Okay, so at first glance, it looks like there's a lot of stuff in here, but we have half of a bag of these chicken wings, so that's like an appetizer. We only have one burrito left there. Just a couple of this second bag of Just Bare nuggets and french fries, and then just a few muffins. This is desserts, and then some leftover zucchini, and so all of that's, well, and cheese, but none of that's like food that's prepped. These are truffles that I made. This is all different breads. That's also all different breads. This is bread. So realistically up here we've got, and this is just extra rice that I have. So we have one meal back there, one meal here. Those are tomato soups. And then we have a little bit of this chicken that goes with this bread. So like we realistically have 3 or 4, probably not 4, 3 meals here, where usually I have like, I mean, well, 3 plus down here a few, so maybe 5, but normally there's like 30 to 50, so I have my work cut out for me to get this all stocked back up. Good news is I think I'll be able to get at least some of this in the freezer, but then I need to keep on cooking. We also don't really have anything in the fridge. I have like 1 meal left there. And then out in the freezer is looking just as empty. I have some cookies and bread that I made. I do have this other bag of Just Bare chicken nuggets, but our goal is not to just eat chicken nuggets. The only freezer meal left is this one, which is salsa verde chicken. And otherwise, I do have these sauces. This is a sweet and sour sauce, but it doesn't have a chicken on it or anything. I have the tomatillo sauce, but it's stuck. So I'm gonna have to do something about that. And then I just have some heavy cream. So like realistically, the 5 meals inside plus that, and that's all we've got. So we are working on it. Okay, these have been going for quite some time. I'm going to, I need somewhere to put this, get them mixed up, get their creams in them. It smells good. I just ate a bunch of pizza though, so I am not hungry in the slightest right now. It's also just lunchtime. So these got done pretty quick. I turned them on to low about a half hour ago. I'm gonna get a whole block of cream cheese in here, which seems like a lot. Try to get that chicken separated a little bit too. So I'm gonna patiently mix this up and try not to spill. Looks good. Okay, I think I've got most of that chicken separated a little bit, just so it's not all one big clump of chicken. I'm glad I did not add any extra liquid to this because it did not need it. I feel like I should give this a little bit of a taste, but I'm like, am I biased because of being full from lunch? Oh, nope, there's a big piece of chicken. Okay, let's try it. Let's do it. All right, let's see what we think. Oh, that's really good. Oh, I like that a lot. Oh my gosh, that's probably one of the best stews that I've made. This one calls for Greek yogurt, and I've got some, actually it calls for sour cream. I'm gonna use Greek yogurt instead. And you know what? I'm gonna turn these off as I go because I think they're done. Okay, let's see. That doesn't look that appetizing, but it doesn't look appetizing right there, but it will by the time we're done with it. Let's get some of this Greek yogurt in. Okay, patiently mix this one too. Probably should use a different spoon. That was way easier with this big serving spoon. I'm going to get a little taste of this. Oh, that's good too. Delicious. I I love that. Okay, got that one off. Okay, the last two over here. Oh man, that looks like it might have been a little too long. Oh no, that was just the spices. Okay, I'm remembering now. I'm gonna turn these two off. So this meat is supposed to be like meat for a sandwich or a wrap or something. Okay, let's give this a try and make sure it's just as good as I remember it being. That is good. I think the balance is a little different than it was last time. It's definitely spicier and less sweet. So I think I just balanced it a little different, but it's still delicious. Let's get this one mixed up and tried. Ooh, that is spicy this time. Okay, let me see if I can find a small bite. That's a small bite. Let's try this. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, let me show you a close-up of all of them. Here is our Fiesta Chicken, which is so good. Here's the Japanese BBQ Beef. That is also so good. My least favorite today is actually the hot honey, which is one that I made before, and I loved it. So I think I just didn't balance it quite right, but that's okay. Still delicious. And we have our chicken stew. They are all so good. I'm going to let them cool, and then I will get them packaged up. Some of it will go in the freezer because this is a lot of food. I don't think this is going to be just our 1 week's worth. I think we're going to have quite a few freezer meals from it as well, which is fantastic. I am so excited to have this food prepped. I was getting to the point where this week I cooked like 3 or 4 times in a row, and I usually don't cook 3 or 4 days in a row. We also went out to eat one night. We were just running so low on foods, and now I have all of this that is prepared, and so I am just so happy about that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you're interested in seeing some other fun videos where I prepped a bunch of food, I'll link some here, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.